Bad luck. Don't we all want to get rid of that? Well, maybe there's a way to at least increase the odds of overcoming it in our lives. In order to do so, I wanted to share a few paragraphs from Robert Collier's book, The Secret of the Ages, and he said the following. Your mind is part and parcel of universal mind. You have the wisdom of all the ages to draw upon. Use it. Use it to do your work in a way it was never done before. Use it to find new outlets for your business, new methods of reaching people, new and better ways of serving them. Use it to uncover new riches, to learn new ways, to make the world a better place to live in. You see, already that one paragraph, if you understand it, you'll overcome bad luck. Because essentially what bad luck is you could say a form of failure. Again, failing only happens when we quit forever on something, but we're making mistakes and we assume it's a failure. We can also say it's bad luck, it didn't go the way we wanted it to go. Well, we still have another chance to go about it, a different way, a better way. If we keep that in mind, then we understand that bad luck doesn't have to hold us back. Every time we seem to be in a state of bad luck, we just realize we're going to have to approach this differently, from a different angle, so that we can overcome it, so we can outgrow it. Now he went on to say, concentrate your thoughts upon these things, knowing that back of you is the vast reservoir of universal mind, that all these things are already known to it, and that you have but to make your contact for them to be known to you. Optimism based on such a realization is never overconfidence. It is the joyous assurance of absolute faith. It is the assurance that made Wilson for a time the outstanding leader of the world. It is the assurance that hardened Lincoln during the black days of the Civil War. It is the assurance that carried Hannibal and Napoleon over the Alps, that left Alexander sighing for more worlds to conquer, that enabled Cortez and his little band to conquer a nation. Grasp this idea of the availability of universal mind for your daily needs, and your vision will become enlarged, your capacity increased. You will realize that the only limit upon you are those you put upon yourself. There will be no such things as difficulties and opposition barring your way. Now that's pretty wild, isn't it? That whole attitude to dominate, to conquer, it's an absolutely useful attitude to have, but of course we want to stay nice, because this could also easily lead into an attitude where you're cold and harsh to everyone around you, but that's what we're talking about. We want to avoid that. Instead, use it to conquer and dominate your own mind. If you think about that, if you're able to do that, you can control the mind. Of course, maybe the terms are a little intense. Maybe we don't like it. It sounds perhaps too aggressive, this approach. It doesn't really matter, just use an approach that works best for you, while knowing the main goal here is to control the mind so we outcome and outgrow bad luck, because it exists in the mind. The idea of having bad luck is just a concept of your own consciousness that you can actually change around. Even though things seem to be failing, not working out for you, there's still the opportunity and possibility in the universe itself with which you can connect that will allow you to see new and greater opportunities instead of the failures and setbacks you may face currently. There are 4 points that this chapter ends with concerning bad luck that are vitally important for us to consider if we really want to make this power work in our lives for ourselves. The first step, Robert Collier said, was that we must remember. The first thing necessary is a sincere desire, concentrating your thought on one thing with singleness of purpose. The second step is visualization, seeing yourself doing it, imagining the objects in the same way that universal mind imaged all of creation. Next step is faith, believing that you have this thing that you want, seeing yourself in your mind's eye, pouring your vital force into it, filling your thought molds and making them realities. And the final one is gratitude. Gratitude for this thing that you have received, and gratitude for the power that enabled you to create it, and gratitude for all the gifts that mind has laid at your feet in such profusion, gratitude for the illimitable supply of vital force with which you can create anything of good. Now, concerning this point of gratitude, I think the most interesting part about it all is this one line here. Gratitude for the power that enabled you to create it. create what? Well, both the vision and the manifestation of your dream. It's so easy to consider being grateful for something when we receive it physically, when we already have it. Then it's easy for us to consider being grateful. But it's not so easy for us to consider being grateful for the fact that we even have something called a consciousness. Have you ever been grateful for that? I'm sure some of you have been there, but I'm going to be really honest with you. During my life in general, it hasn't been many times that I actually stood still and really considered that this power of consciousness is absolutely incredible. It's like the most incredible gift that was given to us by the universe. Like, really think about it. Just contemplating this power in and of itself should fill you with gratitude, or at least be in total awe of the magic of it all. Be like, how is this even possible? In reality, we don't even have the answer entirely. So many mysteries about life, and that makes it absolutely fascinating. And the beautiful and amazing part about all of it is that we are part of this one alive throughout the whole universe. We are part of this amazing universe, and then we are tempted to only focus on the bad luck, the bad times, how things are not working out for us. We're never filled with gratitude, we're only filled with frustration most of the time. And this frustration, inner consciousness, is the cause of all this suffering, all of this, these setbacks, this making this journey harder than it needs to be, because we're ignorant about the fact that we can also change the frustration around and instead embrace abundance, well-being, love, prosperity, peace, all these wonderful concepts of the mind that we crave almost to experience at times. We can enter into them at will whenever we desire. So this is essentially how you overcome bad luck. It's by understanding these 4 points that Robert Collier shared. Because once you start acting like that, bad luck will change into good luck. We're not just wishing you good luck, but you actually experience good fortune, good results, better results. That's what we're after. So if we go to the first point, remember the first thing necessary is a sincere desire, concentrating your thoughts on one thing with singleness of purpose. That's essentially what I'm doing as a content creator right now. I have my whole mind focused on making videos for my YouTube channels. I'm not even focusing on other activities through which I could make money or could serve humanity, because there's many different ways that I could go about business as well if I wanted to. And perhaps if I were to do it, maybe more and more wealth would be generated faster for me. This is the case for you as well, potentially. But ultimately, I know life is temporary, physically speaking, and I just want to do things that I enjoy. So I'm of singleness of purpose. My whole focus, for now at least in my life, is to simply make content and serve humanity through video format. And I use the website YouTube for now. As long as that's the most popular and biggest website to use, I'm gonna be on this platform and just doing my thing. And that's the sort of purpose I hold for myself, to be a content creator. So I'm not just wondering, what else is my purpose about? Should I do this or that? Should my purpose be this or that? No, I'm very clear about it. And that's what you want to do for yourself, to be very clear on your own purpose in life, so you can actually focus on it day in and out. And then you see some results start to occur in that area of your life. Now the second step, again, as he said, was visualization. Seeing yourself doing it. Imagining the object in the same way that the universal mind imagined all of creation. Well, the way I'm using that, seeing yourself doing it, is that with each video, before I ever make them, I already have the idea in my mind. I have a clear idea of what the video will be about, the subject of the video, and I see that in my mind's eye, essentially. It's a very simple example if you think about it, but this is already part of that process he talked about. I don't just grab the microphone and then hope that I can come up with a video and randomly start talking about something without having my mind organized. No, I see clearly in my mind, okay, these 2 videos today I'm gonna post on Mr. Inspirational, and then I start making them, physically speaking. So first I see it in my mind, I'm already visualizing doing it. I'm already seeing myself making the video before I physically start making them. Again, you can have and should have the same approach with your own activities in life. Make them clear through your imagination, and then it becomes easier to physically act upon them, and again to overcome so-called bad luck and turn it into good luck, good fortune. Don't you like that idea? Don't you want that? I'm sure you do. Well, the next step, as he said, was faith, believing that you have this thing that you want, seeing yourself in your mind's eye, pouring your vital force into it, filling your thought molds and making them realities. This might seem complicated, but it really isn't. At first, the reason why it may be complicated is our tendency again to believe in the physical side of life alone. You know, you don't have to believe in anything you see. You can change your mind about it. If you reevaluate a situation, your belief can change about the situation. That's happened with me with certain areas of my life that I felt I was stuck in. I realized I had a subconscious belief that I should be involved in certain activities that weren't doing me any good. I changed the subconscious belief around, and then bam, it vanished out of my life. I don't feel the craving or desire to be involved in those activities any longer. I set myself free by changing my beliefs. Now in this case, you want to do the same for your dream that you want to manifest. Believing that you have the thing you want simply means being in harmony with the thing you desire to manifest. So seeing yourself in your mind's eye, pouring your vital force into it, I would describe it in different words as being like every night I go to bed, I imagine and feel as if I'm successful. I simply contemplate the idea of being successful and how awesome and fun and joyous that would actually make me to be successful. Even though I'm not overly attached, as actually a previous video of the Upanishads talked about, we don't want to be overly attached about this result. So perhaps, you never know what's going to happen physically tomorrow to you. Who knows, maybe it's the end of your life. Well, then you might be frustrated that you didn't achieve your dream physically speaking. Life is eternal, it goes on physically and non-physically, so in that sense, the less you're attached, the more you're allowing yourself to be in the flow of your own dream, and that flow of consciousness automatically helps you believe. Because the more you get results concerning the dream you have, the more you start to believe in yourself. And you see, most people want to see results before they start to believe. But that's not how it works. When you start believing in your dream, that's when you start seeing results, and then it starts to magnify, it starts to increase. You start believing more and more in yourself, and that explains why successful people tend to become more and more successful, why wealthy people become more and more wealthy, etc. Because they're in that flow of mind. They're in that flow of believing that they can do it. That's the stream of thought that you want to enter. And you can do it by approaching life from these 4 steps to apply them in your own beautiful way. And as he said, the last step is gratitude. Again, consider not just only being grateful for things that you have physically, but also for the fact that you have a consciousness which is not physically visible to your eyes. The power of consciousness is not necessarily visible to us. We can only see what it creates in our lives. And the more you realize you have that power of consciousness through which you can create wonderful things in your life, the more grateful you can become. And the more grateful you become, the better every single day will be for you. And the better every single day is for you emotionally, the more greater things will show up for you. That's the beauty of it all. So get into that frequency and enjoy the journey. Overcome bad luck and turn it into good fortune. Because I know you can. Now, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to receive inspirational videos on a regular basis. And with that being said, dear viewer, never forget that we are the dreamers.